Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
Temperatures below average, but it's the wind chills that tell the story. Find out how long we'll be in this Arctic chill.
Also marking a milestone, how high-def cameras and blinking green lights are making Detroit safer.
But first, a 6-year-old little girl screaming on the porch, left with her 8-month-old sister to fend for themselves, and now a judge is throwing the book at their mother.
We're going to start with breaking news from Detroit's east side. A 3-year-old girl has been found wandering around by herself, and here she is. The child was found in the area of Hoover and East State Fair. She's now with police officers in the 9th Precinct. Pretty good picture of a little girl. If you recognize her, please contact Detroit Police right away. We've got a breaking news crew on their way to the scene as well, and we'll have updates throughout this next 90 minutes of news and on clickondetroit.com.
And now to our other big story tonight. A Detroit mother of 2 was officially charged after her 2 daughters were found alone on a porch on the city's west side.
This goes back to Saturday evening at their home on Tyler Street near the Lodge and the Davison. Coco McAboy now at the 36th District Court with more on the charges that now are filed. Coco?
Devin and Kimberly, 25-year-old Sarah King is now facing charges of second-degree child abuse. This after the awful allegation that she left her 6-year-old and 8-month-old baby daughters at home by themselves to fend for themselves.
Case number 170-55672, people of the state of Michigan versus Sarah Marie King.
Sarah Maria King appeared in court this morning to face her charges.
Ma'am, you're charged with count 1, child abuse, second degree. This is a felony with a maximum penalty of 10 years. Count 2, child abuse, second degree. This is a felony with a maximum penalty of 10 years.
This after police say King's 6-year-old daughter was left to care for her 8-month-old baby sister at their home in the 1600 block of Tyler. The 6-year-old had a cell phone, but the battery was dead and she began screaming on the front porch for hours, thinking her baby sister was injured, until their gracious next-door neighbor took both kids in and called police.
Do you understand your rights?
Yes. So why were King's kids left home alone? That question not answered today in court. But this is the first time King has had a run-in with the law.
It does not appear that you have a past felony or misdemeanor criminal history. You're not on probation or parole. You don't have any pending cases.
But because of the severe nature of the alleged crime, King remains behind bars and can't make any contact with her 2 daughters until the court decides her case. And King will be back in court next week. And as for the children, they're now staying with the relative. Reporting live this afternoon, I'm Coco McAboy, Local 4.
And Coco, there was a report as well about when police arrived at the house, the condition that things were in.
Yes, police say the home was just in absolutely awful condition. They say there was no heat, there was no electricity, and we spoke with the neighbor who actually brought the children in, and she tells me that there was plastic all over the home and also a space heater close to that plastic. So she was just saying she was so very glad that they didn't catch fire.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Coco. Well, the clouds have parted. The sun has been shining. Only one little problem there.
Well, 2 problems, actually. 1, it's freezing, and 2, this little guy didn't do what it was supposed to do. Let's get over there to Ben, and winter's going to continue 6 more weeks.
Well, I call the ASPCA.
Some of those rodents look like rocket scientists after this morning, because they may be onto something. Those wind chills out there, it's double digits on the east side, but a lot of spots have not seen those wind chills get above 10 degrees. 2 is how it feels in Flint, 3 above in Pontiac, and 8 for that wind chill right now in Lapeer. Now, air temperatures tonight will sink into the teens. The wind chills are going to stay right around 10 degrees this evening. We'll call it partly cloudy. We do have some sunshine in the forecast, and we've actually got some warmer temperatures. We'll see if we can put them all together coming up in a few minutes. Devin?
Another busy day in Washington. That's all they seem to be right now. Today, President Trump issues an ominous warning to Iran, putting them on notice after a ballistic missile test. Meanwhile, the president was said to have had a blunt and not so cordial conversation with the Prime Minister of Australia. And it's all happening on his Secretary of State Rex Tillerson's first day on the job. Tracy Potts following it all from Washington. Tracy.
Devin, given all the international news today, it's worth noting a new Gallup poll that shows 47% of Americans, just under half, but more than not, think President Trump is moving too fast when it comes to dealing with problems here and abroad.
The world is in trouble, but we're going to straighten it out, okay?
President Trump at the National Prayer Breakfast this morning with his new Secretary of State, welcomed for the first time by career diplomats.
Hi, I'm the new guy.
Says he faces serious international challenges on day one.
But we cannot let our personal convictions overwhelm our ability to work as one team.
The White House describing President Trump as extremely upset with an Obama administration deal that accepts hundreds of mostly Muslim refugees rejected by Australia. The president tweeted, "It's a dumb deal."
And I said, why? Why are we doing this? What's the purpose? So we'll see what happens.
Australia's prime minister called his conversation with the president frank and forthright. Many on Capitol Hill saw that as a direct insult.
It's an unnecessary and frankly harmful open dispute.
To get off on a bad foot with that key an ally, I just think is not a thoughtful approach.
And more reaction today to the Trump administration putting Iran on notice after Sunday's missile launch.
They basically said knock it off, and that we're watching, and there is a new sheriff in town.
Plus tonight, the Treasury Department is allowing transactions with Russia's intelligence agency. The White House calls it a technical fix and insists they are not easing sanctions. But the former head of Russia's intelligence service says today he thinks it's an opening for the U.S. and Russia to work together in the war on terror. From Washington, Tracy Potts, Local 4.
All right, Tracy, and that's not all. Let's get back to the nominations for the cabinet. The nominee for Education Secretary Betsy DeVos, the count still stands at 50-50, meaning a tie-breaking vote would be needed from Vice President Mike Pence. That vote has now been pushed to Monday, so the weekend, for all these lawmakers to think about it.
Police in Bloomfield Township are investigating a crash that left one driver dead.
Crash happened about 7 o'clock this morning on Telegraph at Square Lake Road. That's where police say an SUV rear-ended a van that was waiting at a red light. The driver in the van was not injured, but the driver in that SUV was taken to a hospital and then was pronounced dead. The cause of the crash, though, still under investigation.
Project Greenlight started back in 2016 as a high-tech way to fight crime and keep Detroiters safe. It puts high-definition cameras inside businesses, and those feeds are monitored constantly by police. Well, today that program hit a major milestone. Jamie Edmonds joins us live tonight from Seaway Marketplace on the west side, where Project Greenlight just turned 100. Hi, Jamie.
Hi there, good evening. Yeah, you know, if you feel like you've been hearing a lot about Project Greenlight, you're hearing a lot of stories. You are. A lot of businesses are signing on for this, and if you listen to firsthand accounts, it's because it's working. And with that, the city's 100th Greenlight business is up and running. It was a celebration outside the Seaway Market on the city's west side and inside as city officials tout the success of the program just over a year after it began.
All businesses, we've seen a 17% reduction, gas stations 22% reduction, liquor stores 20% reduction.
When it started in January 2016, 8 businesses agreed to put green lights outside, a sign that there were high-definition cameras inside and that the police were watching. In the past year, the mayor says the program has evolved and improved.
If somebody dials 911 and said something happened, they can rewind the tape at headquarters, capture a picture of the perpetrator and send it out to the patrol car's laptop.
Mike Saad, owner of Starter's Bar and Grill, is one of the original businesses to sign on.
I am open till 2 o'clock in the morning, 7 days a week, and I have seen an increase in business in the families that come around to see us.
Pat Harris is a customer of Seaway Market. She says when she sees a green light, she feels safe.
I think that's one of the most fantastic things that the society of today has come up with that keeps a lot of us safe.
Yeah, and Chief Craig would have to agree with Pat. He calls this an innovation for law enforcement, and other cities are calling to ask about how it works. As far as frequency, businesses coming online has increased from 5 to 15 per month, and they say, you know, DTE coming online and giving incentives to businesses, and Comcast helping with financing has increased the numbers.
And Jamie, so what's next for the program? Do they plan to expand any more?
They do. You know that the mayor and the police chief both said today they're going to work on some sort of ordinance with city council to say businesses open after 10 you know, maybe they should have this and maybe they'll force them to get green lights in the future.
Yeah, definitely a great program. Jamie, we appreciate it. Well, sources tell Local 4 Microsoft is set to open a new office in downtown Detroit.
Yeah, Dan Gilbert's Bedrock real estate firm expected to announce the move tomorrow morning at One Campus Martius. And in fact, that's where we expect they're moving, what most of us know as the CompuWare building. Mayor Mike Duggan and Gilbert will both be in attendance. Unclear exactly when the move will happen. Microsoft has had their offices in Southfield. The announcement set for 8:30 tomorrow morning, and we will stream it for you live at clickondetroit.com. More new neighbors for us down here. New proof that Metro Detroiters are more generous than ever.
New tonight, the thing one local company is doing to help get a charity back out on the road after thieves ruined their trucks.
And a heartbroken mother who lost her only child to gun violence speaking out her desperate plea to get her son's killer off the street coming up.
A 13-year-old on her way to middle school here in Wyandotte almost abducted by a man in a white van.
Yeah, I'm always reckless. It's very scary.
What you need to know if you live in this area and what every parent should know about talking to their kids.
Okay, Nick, and we continue to follow that breaking news that we told you about on Detroit's east side, where a 3-year-old little girl is found wandering all by herself. Here's a picture of that little girl. The toddler was found this afternoon in the area of Hoover and East State Fair. She's now with police officers at the 9th Precinct. We have a crew at the precinct right now gathering more information for us, and we'll get to them in just a couple of moments. Stay with us.
Tonight, new at 6.
You can see their tracks, but when coyotes make their move, it takes everyone by surprise. What one community is now doing to control the out-of-control population. That story, new tonight.
All right, Hank, plus the heroin epidemic worsens. There's a bit of good news about the weapon police and paramedics are carrying in the fight against deadly overdoses.
All right, let's update you now on the breaking news we're following from Detroit's east side, where a 3-year-old girl was found out wandering alone.
Let's get out to Jermont Terry. He's live at the 9th Precinct where that little girl is right now. And Jermont, what have you been able to find out?
Well, Kimberly, I've been able to determine from police that apparently a stranger found this 3-year-old girl wandering alone near East State Fair in Hoover. She was actually right outside a party store in that area. That individual took the little girl, brought him to, she took the child into his car and brought that girl to the 9th Precinct. And right now, police are trying to just gather a little information. She tells officers that she's 3 years old and that her name is Aliyah. Of course, right now, Detroit police trying to find out where her parents and or guardians are at this particular time. But we do know this 3-year-old was found alone wandering near East State Fair in Hoover. A stranger, Good Samaritan, saw this little girl, took her into his car and brought her now to the 9th Precinct. That individual has since left, but right now the police are trying to contact the family, next of kin. So if you know this little girl, you are urged to call police because they really want to find out where her parents are. We're going to stay on top of this breaking news story and have details all the time on clickondetroit.com. For now, reporting live, Jermont Terry, Local 4.
More updates to come. All right, Jermont. Well, from a stranger doing the right thing to a stranger danger case, parents in Wyandotte understandably concerned tonight after a 13-year-old was almost abducted on her way to school.
This all happened right in the area of 4th and Bondi. After that, the girl ran to a Circle K about a half a mile away near Goddard. As Nick Monticelli reports, police are now stepping up patrols in that area.
And those extra patrols are around the school and the neighborhoods, all because police would really like to know who this guy is. In the meantime, parents are being diligent too, talking to each other on Facebook and Twitter, trying to get a better idea of who tried to abduct this little girl.
Yeah, I'm always reckless.
As parents were dropping off their kids this morning, the conversation
is very scary.
Is one that really no one wants to have.
Sometimes I have my daughter walk, but not no more.
They are talking about the attempted abduction of a Wilson Middle School student on her way to school yesterday. It happened here in a quiet neighborhood at 4th and Bondi in the northern part of Wyandotte. The 13-year-old was walking to meet a friend for a ride to school. That's when a man in a white van approached her and told her to get in his van. When she refused, he got out, but she took off running and came here to a Circle K on Goddard where a friend's mother was waiting.
I do think it's important for all of us to pay attention, and it sounds like the girl was taught very well because she did what she should do.
The suspect's description is incredibly vague, but if anything, this reminds us to talk to our kids, preparing them just in case.
Yeah, it might be a little bit scary, but it's realistic, and so you need to be upfront with them, and you just need to see it in a calm manner, and just know that they are safe, they are protected, but if this does happen, they need to be aware of what to do.
I tell her, run, 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 don't talk to nobody, don't say nothing, because you don't know nobody.
In Wyandotte, Nick Monticelli, Local 4.
All right, Nick, and a school bus driver saw a portion of what happened. Police believe the suspect drove off as soon as he realized he was being watched. I need to apologize.
Because you treated this little critter horribly.
And now I'm getting emails from people who, yeah.
Oh, well.
So I apologize for treating the little groundhog.
In fact, yes, you were blaming the messenger.
Yes.
Now you know how
Yeah, that's how it works, isn't it? Yes.
She doesn't really throw me at the camera.
This is Spud, by the way. This is our own little.
Yeah, Paul Gross's little.
You know this one from the weather office.
Yeah.
Yes, you've seen Spud,
He
of course.
sits in there and just sort of taunts us most of the year.
Yeah.
He comes out.
You know,
Hey.
if I had a nickel for everybody who said they could deal with the cold as long as the sun came out.
Yeah, I think that's. Now we're testing that.
That's right. It's like the dog caught the pickup truck. Now we'll see what you do with it because it's here for a while. We've got those clear skies, temperature 23 with a wind chill of 10. That's a wind of 15 miles an hour out of the west right now. We're going to see bright skies at least more often than not here in the next few days. And with those clear skies, be a good chance to go outside and see the space station tonight, 6:27. It's going to show up in the west-northwest sky. It's only going to be there for 4 minutes, so it's not going to take too much of your dinner hour, and then it'll disappear in the southeast sky, low towards the horizon. So we're 23, and yes, there is colder air up here to the north and west, but the air mass really is not going to get all that much colder. We're looking for highs in the 20s, lows in the teens here, at least until we get into the weekend. Then we're going to start getting some warmer air in here as we head towards Sunday. It's not going to be all wine and roses, though, because we'll have to deal with some, at least one big weather maker. We'll talk about that in a second. Clouds start increasing tonight, but they'll fade again as we go into Friday, especially by the afternoon hours. So even though we'll start with some clouds in the morning, we'll look for mostly sunny skies in the afternoon. And again, no snow, so nothing to really mess up those commutes as we get into the finish of the weekend or the work week. 12 degrees tonight for the nighttime low, and remember those wind chills will be the big story, and that's what we're going to look at here in our 4-zone forecast. This is when we wake up tomorrow morning around 8 a.m. This is how it's going to feel. 6 above in the city, right around 7 in Dearborn, West Bloomfield, 2 above there. All positive territory in the south zone, but not by much. 2 above there at Onstead, and generally about 5 to 6 above across most of that south zone. There will be spots that see negative wind chills in the morning. Genesee County and the northern sections of Oakland County will be one of those locations. Otherwise, just a little bit above 0 down here towards Ann Arbor, and a lot more negative wind chills in our north zone by tomorrow morning. 2 below in Oxford, 1 below in Imlay City, and just 1 above will be that wind chill in Port Huron. So you see the temperatures start going up as we get into the weekend. Sunday's high, 34. We will get close to 40 on Tuesday, but we're still sort of watching that system very carefully because it looks like we could get a mix of snow, some rain, and maybe even some ice, depending on the position of that.
Yeah.
It is the warmest number there, though.
Yeah, that's true.
So
the bright
comes
side.
with that. Yeah.
Take what you get.
Quick update to the story we're following with the little girl who was found wandering alone. We believe her father has now showed up at the precinct office.
Certainly good news. Yeah.
Certainly is, and we'll continue to follow it. Well, also coming up, it's the revolutionary program encouraging drug addicts to go to police departments to get help. And new tonight, how the program called Hope Not Handcuffs is showing real results.
But first, a prison standoff in Delaware comes to an end in tragic fashion. The horrible discovery police made as they stormed the facility. That's next. An 18-hour standoff at a Delaware state prison is over after police stormed the building where 2 hostages were being held. Officers quickly rescued a female counselor. The other hostage was killed in the standoff. The prison guards union is blaming limited staffing on the officer's death and says his quick action saved lives.
As the inmates attempted to take over the building, Sergeant Floyd told a couple of the lieutenants to get out of the building and that it was a trap.
It isn't clear if any inmates were held hostage, but all 120 prisoners in the building are considered suspects.
The Macomb County Sheriff's Office is already seeing results just days after launching its Hope Not Handcuffs program.
The program allows people of any age battling drug addiction to voluntarily come to a police department and ask for treatment. Macomb County says just hours after the program was rolled out, they had its first person enlist in the program. That person came to the sheriff's office after hearing about the program and has been since placed into treatment. Well, a radiothon aiming to raise money to feed Michigan's children continues at this hour.
Detroit's 104.3 WOMC hosting the radiothon inside Gleaners at their Detroit distribution warehouse. Started at 6 a.m. this morning, and Gleaners asking you to donate to its wide-reaching school food mobile pantry program. For every dollar given, 6 meals will be provided on behalf of Kroger. That's their match partner. The radiothon broadcast again on 104.3 until 7 p.m. tonight. There's Kim and I with Jim Johnson earlier today. We had a great visit.
Great visit.
You totally won him over.
Well, he's a fun guy.
Yeah,
We're going to have to hang out.
But
we'd like for the phones to continue to ring and rack up the donations.
You can also do it online at WOMC's website as well. Back with more in just a minute. Doc?
New at 5:30.
Courtney was a healthy young mom, an athlete, and she nearly died from a heart attack.
About 20 minutes after I got discharged, I went into full cardiac arrest at my neighbor's house.
The red flag even the doctors missed, and the life-saving message Courtney wants everyone to hear.
Want to make $1 million making football picks? Turns out there's an app for that.
Well, I already know what I'm going to pick. I'm going to pick New England. So I'll make that pick, and then I'm going to lock it.
It's a local company, and it could be a local winner. Their story next.
It's been 5 years since a young man's body was found on an East Side street, and his mother's emotions haven't cooled at all. Her search for justice coming up.
50%. Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5:30 starts now.
More than 5 years after a young Detroit father is murdered, his killer remains on the loose. Good evening. A grieving mother isn't sure the people who killed her son are still around, but she's not going to rest until the investigation gets moving again.
24-year-old Ennis Buford was killed on Detroit's east side back in December of 2011. Jason Colthorpe live with more on what led to this young man's murder. Jason.
Devin, it may have simply been just his choice of friends, but that fatal mistake didn't change the fact this 24-year-old father of 2 young girls was a dedicated father who had big dreams of one day owning his own car wash and his own barber shop. Dreams that ended mysteriously 5 years ago.
It's like a Mack truck hits you and you have no warning. And it's a hole so large that you can't close.
It's been a little more than 5 years since Vanessa Buford's son, Darren Ennis Buford, was found murdered on the east side.
He got in with the wrong type of people. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Wrong type of people, wrong situation, but he never did anything harmless to anyone.
It was that crowd that took Buford to Haverhill just before 2 a.m. December 2nd, 2011. He was dropping off a friend, and an hour later, his body was found and his 2006 Land Rover stolen.
He never really met a stranger, so therefore I know it wasn't a stranger that did this to him.
His mother, who has dedicated herself to solving street conflicts among kids, just wants justice for her own son.
You always worry about your child. That's something that you carried inside of you. No one has the right to take them away.
And she has this message for any of that wrong crowd that might be still out there.
But they on your trail. Don't think you. One thing about it, murder, anytime they get you, you gone.
Still a lot of grief and anger in her voice and as she thinks about this case, and she knows it'll take just one tip that could restart this and get this case heated back up. You can call 1-800-SPEAK-UP if you know anything about that night. The tips and the payouts are completely anonymous, and if you call tonight, it could be worth $3,500. We're reporting live tonight. Jason Colthorpe, Local 4.
Jason, as we heard her say, her son wasn't without fault, but has she been satisfied with the way the investigation has gone?
Yeah, you know, it's kind of a cycle that bothers her that she's dealt with the Detroit Police Department in a way that some guys get moved up the chain or they are moved out of the department, and her case just keeps going back to the restart button. Yeah. And it's something that's also frustrating for Chief James Craig. He's talked about the attrition at the Detroit Police Department. They're losing 15 people a month, so that's a battle that you can see how it affects a lot of different things.
Absolutely, makes continuity really difficult. All right, Jason.
Yeah.
In Nashville today, a police officer was killed while trying to save a suicidal woman. The officer and his partner were responding to a call at a park this morning when they found the woman in a car parked on a boat ramp near a river. They tried to convince her to get out, and that's when the car rolled down the ramp and into the water. 44-year-old officer Eric Mumaw fell into the water trying to save the woman. His body was found a few hours later. The woman and other officer are recovering tonight. Thousands paid tribute this afternoon to 3 of the 6 men shot to death in a Quebec City mosque.
6 were killed when a gunman stormed the mosque last Sunday and opened fire on a group of men attending prayer. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau was among those in attendance at the memorial service that was held today. Here at home, a vigil to remember the victims will be held tomorrow night at 6:30. That'll be at the Islamic Center of America, which is in Dearborn. A Metro Detroit charity back on the road after having all the batteries ripped out of its fleet of trucks.
On Wednesday morning, this white SUV missing a license plate showed up on surveillance cameras at the Society of St. Vincent de Paul's Westland location. 3 people stole the batteries from the trucks. Thanks to Motor City Battery Company from Lincoln Park, all the trucks have been installed with new batteries, and they're back on the road tonight. Across Michigan this Thursday, we're following stories from Saginaw and the state capitol in Lansing.
And up north in Cold Springs Township, and that's where at least 30 animals were killed after a barn caught fire. Officials say by the time firefighters got to the scene, the barn was already fully engaged in flame. Goats and sheep inside at the time were killed. Just a few made it out alive. Reports say the fire may have been related to a space heater, but the exact cause is still under investigation.
Authorities say tips have slowed down in the case of a man who was murdered in a halfway house over in Saginaw. Police have released this surveillance photo. It shows the moment 2 masked men stormed into the halfway house last month, armed with rifles. One gunman shot and killed 31-year-old DeMarlon Thomas, while another held 24 other hostages. Thomas was a former member of Saginaw's Sunnyside gang. He was living in the house after his 19-year prison sentence was commuted by President Obama last November. A new program aims to offer people who live in Michigan free advice on how to deal with their student loan debt.
And you can sign up for it now. This is a program that is a 1-year pilot effort by the Michigan Treasury Department and the National Student Loan Program. It allows borrowers who are delinquent to work one-on-one with financial counselors for free. Borrowers will learn how to develop their repayment plans, to create a budget, and to understand their credit scores. Well, it's a tradition that, of course, dates back centuries, using a groundhog to help predict how long winter will last. It makes perfect scientific sense.
Yes. Today is Groundhog Day, and Ben is here, I guess, now with a bit of rodent roundup. Can we call it that?
Yes.
Yeah, look, this is the segment where we usually show you hardcore science. I think this fits in.
No doubt about it.
Bill Murray, I love it.
Don't drive angry.
Groundhog Roundup. We're going to start out with the granddaddy of them all, Punxsutawney Phil up in Pennsylvania. He saw his shadow. Key thing to remember, it is going to be 6 more weeks of winter if that happens. And sure enough, that's what happened up in Pennsylvania. The guys in the top hats probably still sleeping off their celebration this morning. Here in Howell, Woody did not come out of her burrow, stayed inside, so she agreed with Punxsutawney Phil that we're going to have 6 more weeks of winter. But if you're looking for an early spring, maybe Chuck's your guy. Staten Island Chuck, no shadow. I think we may have interrupted Chuck's breakfast there. He's got a little something hanging out of his mouth out there. But I'm going to go consult with the nearest rodent and come up with the 7-day forecast for you guys. Just a second.
I like that. All right. Thank you, Ben.
I'm going to trust your opinion more, if you don't mind.
True. Well, there's one local guy who has $1 million riding on Sunday's big game.
Yeah, when the Patriots and the Falcons kick off Sunday night at NRG Stadium in Houston, no one would be paying more attention to the action than Dominic Mirabella from Rochester. Jamie Edmonds shows us why he's got so much on the line.
The Super Bowl, the greatest contest in all of sports. But one local man could win more than the Lombardi Trophy with just a tap of his finger. Dominic Mirabella is a financial advisor in Troy. He doesn't gamble, but he does dabble in friendly competition.
So it's really just the competition among friends that's you know the most fun thing about it.
This season, his friends got him involved in 4Play Football, an app created by Rochester Hills native Jeff Johnson and his partner. It's like fantasy football, except instead of picking players, you pick NFL teams to win.
We have a strict gambling prohibition. We're just a scorekeeping mechanism, sort of like a March Madness software.
In its second year, 4Play decided to up the ante.
This year we offered $1 million prize for a perfect season. So a contestant would have to go 21-0. That's 21 consecutive weeks of never missing a single pick.
The odds of that happening, 1 in 5 million. And yet Mirabella is on the cusp of doing just that. He had the magic touch right from week 1.
I was joking about it with family and friends, you know, around Thanksgiving, and the joke just kept lasting.
Now all he has to do is pick the Super Bowl winner, and he's $1 million richer. Mirabella turned down 4Play's offer of a trip to Vegas this weekend. He prefers to keep his routine the same, man cave with his wife and kids. And if he wins?
Either way, whether I win or I don't win on Sunday, I'll be here Monday. I'll be back to work on Monday.
So Dom here says he hasn't made his pick yet, right?
Right.
But it locks at 1 p.m. on Sunday, and he's going to go with his gut at 12:58. Here's to hoping.
Thank you.
In Troy, Jamie Edmonds, Local 4.
I like that. In his man cave with a wife and kids.
Yep.
Keep the routine going.
Well, we'll see.
Could you imagine
after he gets $1 million, we'll see then what happens to the
I bet he's going to get a
routine.
bigger TV.
At least. It's a cult favorite that's popular even with people who don't like fast food.
New tonight, what's made a comeback at McDonald's and why this classic treat is getting a new twist.
Also, a wild crash on the way to school. What caused this bus full of students to end up on its side in the middle of the road? Doc?
Well, Courtney was a healthy young mom, an athlete, but she nearly died from a heart attack. I'm Dr. Frank McGeorge. Coming up, the red flags even the doctors missed, and the life-saving message that Courtney wants everyone to hear.
We've got new at 6.
Their nightmare has gone on 63 days with no end in sight. New at 6. See part of my interview with the parents of missing 28-year-old Danielle Stislicki of Farmington Hills.
Also, how do you play it cool when you're caught outside a Kroger pushing a cart full of stolen food? At 6, what police say this man tried to do when confronted. Now we move to good health. February is Heart Month. Despite heart disease being the #1 killer, many people think a heart attack is something that happens to someone else.
Dr. Frank McGeorge is here with a prime example of why everyone needs to be aware of these symptoms, Doc.
Exactly, Karen and Devin. You know, Courtney Alexander was a healthy young mom and an athlete, but she nearly died from a heart attack, and now she's hoping her close call can help save lives. It happened after a day of skiing at Mount Brighton.
I had this severe back pain that came out of the blue, right between my shoulder blades, to the point where it was even hard to stand up. I had pain going down my arms, into my hands.
She went to the ER.
They ran some musculoskeletal tests and said, well, it could be your heart, but you know, you're young, you don't have any risk factors.
Courtney was just 33 with no family history of heart disease. A former college athlete, she was in great shape, even played hockey. But she was having a heart attack.
20 minutes after I got discharged, I went into full cardiac arrest at my neighbor's house. The person who witnessed it called for help, started CPR immediately. The 911 dispatcher walked the people through CPR. Police were first on the scene. They had an AED, automatic external defibrillator, in the back of their car.
Doctors at the University of Michigan discovered Courtney had suffered a type of heart attack called SCAD, spontaneous coronary artery dissection. For reasons that aren't clear, the artery suddenly begins to tear, blocking blood flow to the heart.
My kids were 6, 4, and 2, so I can't imagine them having to grow up without a mom, and will always be appreciative of the people who acted fast.
SCAD often strikes young, healthy women. Up to 30% of cases occur in women who've recently had a baby. The symptoms can include chest pain or discomfort, shortness of breath, pain in the arms, back, neck, or jaw, nausea, lightheadedness, or sweating.
If I would have known that, I might have been more been able to express myself better in the emergency room and better able to say, hey, I think this possibly could be a heart thing going on.
Courtney has become an advocate for hands-only CPR and AEDs.
We're working really hard right now in Michigan to really increase the survival rate because it can be done and it deserves to be done. The worst thing you can do is just not do anything at all.
Now, SCAD is generally treated with medication and lifestyle changes. In fact, Courtney now has an implanted defibrillator in her chest just in case it happens again. And you can learn more about SCAD as well as how to perform hands-only CPR on the health page at clickondetroit.com.
But there's no screening for it. You only find out when something like this happens, right?
That's exactly it. There's really no way to predict who is really at risk for SCAD.
And we do need to bring attention to that female aspect in terms of heart awareness.
Right, exactly, and the after pregnancy effect.
In fact, you've got a jump on tomorrow with you've got a red tie on.
That's right. Now, tomorrow is National Wear Red Day. The American Heart Association is encouraging everyone to wear red to raise awareness for women's heart issues. And you can also show that you are going red for women on social media using the hashtag #GoRedMI.
We appreciate it. Devin's going to wear his red suit.
Yes,
right?
I'm going to borrow it from Steve Harvey if I can track him down. I don't think I have a red suit.
Wouldn't that would be, you'd get a lot of attention.
Oh, that would be, it would,
you'd raise awareness.
No doubt about it.
Oh, I'd raise a lot of money. Let me throw the first one in the pile.
See what I can find.
If you could do the 5 and 6,
Okay.
I'm all for it.